name is Paul Rodgers, and I am the one who lies.
Yeah, that was the demon. That was the demon.
I think you're the Yankee Tankie, dude. Can you talk normally to confirm?
This is something he totally do, but I don't know if he has the voice for this. That's the thing.
I don't even know exactly who this individual tanky guy is, but I am Paul Rodgers.
Why don't you know who
Okay, I'll ask you again. What do you think about Samira's retweet?
I don't know who Samira is, and I don't know what retweet you're talking about.
Check your
Yes,
profile
you do, because it's in
description.
your profile description. It's called Making Fun of Haas, Samira Khan, and Keaton Mansfield. So you do know who Samira is.
I don't know what you're talking about. You will be taken.
Yeah, this guy's laughing, so I'm sure he has really good arguments. So this is Mecha taking moments, making fun of Haas, Samira, and Keaton every day to expose their hypocrisy. Let's add them as a speaker. Go ahead.
Why do you insist on doing some of the most obscene bullshit I've ever seen within social media? You are producing content
Can you light your cigarette in the hole that's in your neck again? I can't really hear you that well. Can you maybe cough out that hairball, cat in the hat? Because this is the cat in the hat. There's no doubt about that. He's a super duper feline, right? This dude's got a motherfucking hairball he's got to spit out. And he's trying to light his fucking cigarette on his neck. Now, if I recall correctly, you were spamming the laugh emote. I'm not hearing anyone laughing. I'm just hearing somebody who most likely has lung cancer and is not going to be with us within the year, okay? So first of all, that whole posturing where you're spamming the laughing emoji was completely just a form of performative posturing. It had no basis in reality. Congratulations for admitting you're a bitch and an insincere pussy, right? But do you have any actual arguments about the debate at hand? But he ran away. I've never seen a bigger pussy than that. They mustered the courage to come on the space and try and challenge me. And they were so embarrassed by what they did that they just fucking ran away and left. That was the most pathetic performance I've ever seen in my life. Are they still with us?
Once again, here we are with you trying to destroy the Starbucks union. And quite honestly, it is absolutely disgusting.
You sound like a
You should not be fighting against the Starbucks union.
Okay.
Bro, working people still have to feed themselves, feed their children.
Hold on.
But you are here trying to take the food out of people's mouths. That is disgusting. If everyone is unionized, we're better off. And that's the thing we have to realize. If we are all unionized, every person who actually fights for a union in the workplace, they will be better off.
What about
that
CIA
is the reality.
Should CIA
but you want to take the food out of people's mouths.
Bro.
Food out of a baby's mouth.
That
is what you're advocating for, sir. That is why you are not revolutionary. Okay. You are part of the Red Yellow Alliance. The Red Yellow Alliance. You don't actually want workers to have power. You want to build us up into a digital gilded age. That's what you're fighting for. You're not fighting for the working class.
Is destroying the world.
And that's why we need to defeat
the president of the
fighting against the working class struggle every single day. That is what you are doing. It could have been
to liberate the
Starbucks in the street. But you don't care.
He's such an asshole. He's the worst. He's worse than Hitler.
Money grabbing with absolutely no talent whatsoever.
Alright, what do you I have to mute everyone.
Disgrace to the human society.
So I'm
People like
Alright, I'm gonna mute him, okay?
People like you shouldn't even exist.
Permanently.
You are a disgrace. An absolute.
How do I do the mute thing?
Absolute.
You have to move them down.
pathetic.
Wait, just do
You
mute
can't
all.
even
Oh, mute
deal
everyone.
with-
Okay, perfect. All right, they're muted. All right. So I have to, you know. So you're saying that, first of all, there's a number of problematic things you're saying, right? First, you're saying I'm destroying the Starbucks labor union. I actually was going to make a tweet about this earlier because I find it really pathological. I think it's inevitably going to fail. And then you're going to blame people like me, even though all I'm doing is pointing out why communists, who are in no way decisive for the victory of that union, should have nothing to do with the Starbucks thing. Should focus on our efforts on something that actually matters, right? So me not giving a fuck about the Starbucks union doesn't mean I'm destroying the Starbucks union or taking food out of people's mouth. In all honesty, I'm completely fine with Starbucks workers stealing out of the cash register. Fuck it. I mean, if they want, I mean, I would never advocate for anything illegal, but like if they broke into Howard Schultz's house and like took all his money and shit, do you think I would care? I wouldn't. Go. It's a dog-eat-dog world. Get your bread however you want to get your bread. By the way, people who are immediately concerned with putting food in their kids' mouths are not going to be participating in the Starbucks union. And the reason, at least the efforts to unionize, and the reason for that is because it significantly increases the risk that you're going to be fired. So if your top priority is just immediately helping your family, you're probably not going to take the risk to unionize. It's the people who kind of believe in it as an ideal and out of principle that are going to lead the union effort. And it's only going to spread on the basis of that kind of leadership. So what you're saying is just completely illogical. And then secondly, you said we should support every unionization attempt, period. Now, since we are a finite number of people with finite energy, we obviously cannot be everywhere at once. And we have to take responsibility for who we choose to prioritize in terms of representation and who we don't. Because given our limited resources, it is of decisive importance that we're strategic about what we do, since there's so few of us. And by the way, in terms of us, I'm just saying anyone who's even claiming to be a communist. There are so few people who are interested in building a communist party that you do have to be strategic about who you support and who you give attention to and who you prioritize. This is not, you cannot be everywhere at once whatsoever. Finally, you know, you said something about families. I don't really think you can support a family with Starbucks. I'm not sure how many people who work at Starbucks, you know, I'm sure they exist, but I'm just, even as like a cliche or a trope, which is what I think it's more likely for someone to be a student in debt, which is still an abominable, you know, circumstance of slavery, yada, yada. A young person in debt is probably more likely to be a Starbucks barista than like a person trying to put food on their family's table. I could be wrong about that, but you know, I would, you know, let's look up the demographics of baristas. So Starbucks employment demographics. I might be wrong, right? Starbucks employment demographics. Starbucks worker demographics. So Starbucks, I'm looking for age. Is there anything in terms of age? Age. Is there really no data for age? There's no fucking data for age. Holy fuck. Starbucks employment demographics age. The average age of an employed barista is 24 years old. Okay, here we go. Barista demographics in the US. Age. The average age is 24 years old. So that's first thing I can find. So I don't think people really consider this a job that you can support a family off of, right? I just don't. 51% of baristas are 20 to 30 years old. 13% are 30 to 40, and only 6% are 40 plus years old. As for the rest, I presume that they are under 20. Okay? So, I mean, even like this fucking entire tirade you went off, where you're trying to scream at me for like harming families and shit. I mean, like, Like, even if it was true that I was a union buster, which I'm not, it's just really not true, right? In the first place. This initiative is not primarily being led by people trying to feed their families. It is probably led by people, you know, who are sick of the bullshit of having to work at Starbucks, you know, whatever. I mean, whatever their reasons are, I'm not trying to say their reasons are illegitimate. I just don't think that it's relevant for communists whatsoever, at least in the present stage. In the future, if, you know, if there's actually a working class movement, could communists have a stance on... I see, the thing is, if there was a working class movement, I don't think this shit would exist in the first place. There would either be, you know, a broad political movement to destroy the service industry, or at best, there could be resources for an independent union that's communist-led or something. But it's like, I don't see how you could logically say this is something communists should give a fuck about right now. I just don't. So I'm going to unmute this screaming fucking pussy, and hopefully they will have a coherent argument. Go ahead.
You should understand that any money being taken out of the monopoly capitalists and their wallets is a benefit for the working class. So therefore, because of that reality,
you're wrong.
It makes the most sense to support every labor movement, which, by the way, I don't see you going and doing anything to actually support any movement.
No, I
am. Your little fucking apartment bedroom horse shit, unless you have a fucking DoorDash order or some shit, and then you cry about it.
Okay. So I'm gonna respond to that. The first thing you said is that we should support any attempt to remove money from capital. If that was the case, then we should support capital more than anyone else. The inherent tendency of capital in the ruling class right now is to burn as much money as they can and throw it away in the most wasteful manner. And moreover, even if you were right, since fiat money isn't actually commodity money, they can just print more, right? So they pretty much have unlimited money. So no, you're wrong. We shouldn't support anything.
No, they don't have unlimited money because the reality of China and Russia and the rest of the anti-imperialist bloc prevents the money extraction from the global south to stabilize fiat currency. As we speak at this very time, even countries like Saudi Arabia and Israel are currently switching to the Chinese yuan.
It doesn't matter. There's an unlimited supply of money in terms of taking money from the capitalists. There is, objectively.
But you're not actually taking money from the capitalists at that point, if that's the reality. You're taking money from
the capitalists don't care. The capitalists don't care about money because money is just a unit of account. Capitalists care more about data than they give a fuck about money. Money is downstream.
The more money that is in the hands of the working class people of the country means that they have the more resources to actually organize their workplace and their community. So it is just false that taking money from the capitalists does not benefit the working class.
Okay, so I'm going to mute you if you're going to keep it. I'm going to mute you briefly, okay? Just because I don't want to be interrupted here. There's no reason to assume that. For example, the only thing separating a barista from a Google engineer is the barista doesn't get paid shit, right? But if a barista was a cozy job and it was like a nice job that people were comfortable with and gave them a lot of resources and shit, their loyalty would be with Starbucks. It would cement their loyalty to the institution and to capital itself. Now, the reason that's not true for the productive laborers, and this is why it's decisive, is that even though they get paid higher than most of the American working class, that's immaterial. Why? Because their labor is not based on the reproduction of institutions or artificially contrived forms of sociality. It's based on actual material labor. That is why you will never be able to fully bribe the productive working class. Whereas, I mean, it would be really easy to bribe Starbucks employees and cement their loyalty to imperialism. I mean, that would effectively turn them into a labor aristocracy because there would be no way, there would be no root base among these Starbucks laborers with which you could approach and say, hey, what do you have to lose? You have nothing to lose. Join this broader movement. Well, now they have a great deal to lose because they're now attached to their institution in a way that they weren't before. This is why Google employees and grad students and others will never be revolutionary, okay? Unless there's like individual exceptions. As a class, they will never be revolutionary. Never, okay? There's a reason for that. So what you're saying is just fucking wrong. Now, you're also saying something like we should take as much resources from the hands of capitalists as we can, but you're not doing that with the Starbucks unionization initiative. Starbucks is not going to have any... If Starbucks completely disappeared, let's just say it completely disappeared, it would not make a dent on imperialism. The basis of imperialism is not Starbucks. Starbucks is a symptom of, a more fundamental relation. And not relation between people, moreover, but relation between countries and relation between polarities. That's why Starbucks exists. It doesn't fucking exist because it's the source of capitalist revenue. Actually, I would even argue Starbucks is not... Things like Starbucks are not the source of anything except, units of account. That's what the revenue amounts to. They're these units of accounts which factor in terms of financial capital and derivative profits, but those are, again, units of account of a more fundamental exploitative relationship based on imperialism. That's where the actual fucking money is. You can get rid of all these dumb fucking companies and just new ones would take their place that are founded upon the same exploitative relationship of imperialism. You can get rid of Starbucks, McDonald's, and all these other dumb fucking companies, and it won't matter because new ones will just take their place. Why? Because all these fucking companies ultimately are downstream from the fundamental imperialist relations of exploitation between polarities and peripheries and between countries. Go ahead.
So you believe that I and all of my fellow working people should starve? Because remember that 60 to 70% of the economy is the service industry. Yeah. There's nowhere else to go. There is no quote-unquote productive jobs for us to go to. So that means we are forced to stay in poverty. We are forced to...
Okay, you're just repeating the same thing over and over again, so I'm just going to mute you and respond, okay? And if I missed something, you can just open with what I missed. Because I don't like when people go off tangents, just repeating the same, diatribe. I'm starving! I have nowhere else to... your point is taken. You have to repeat that 1,000 more times. Your point is taken, okay? As far as your actual point is concerned, my message for you and your friends is as an individual. I have no fucking political message for you. And there's 2 reasons why I don't have a political message for you. 1, you and your friends are not constituted as a class. You don't represent even Starbucks workers. You don't even represent service workers. You're just individuals insofar as you're engaging me in this capacity. The second reason is that even if you were constituted as some kind of social mass, I am just an individual. I'm not a party. Only a party can actually give a message to a social mass. Me as an individual, my advice for you is, I don't fucking know. This is a dog-eat-dog world, so secure life for yourself before anything. And that's my advice for everyone. Do the most you can to get by in the best way you can. But the patent truth is that everyone who's telling you that, unionizing is going to make your life better, that's a socially targeted form of rhetoric. That is not actual worthwhile individual advice one person can give to another. It's just not. Whether a union is going to succeed or not is up in the air. There's so many factors that decide whether that's possible. It's a social initiative. There's no guarantee in that. An individual is giving you advice and saying, if you want to improve your life, you should engage in a revolution. They're not talking to you as an individual. They're talking to you as an anonymous social subject of their political project, which is actually pretty fucked up. That's actually why, we have people on Twitter and on the internet. We don't have a culture of people who actually help each other. We just have a culture of people who are like, I'm going to apply some universal standard of how you should be helped in your life, based on some contrived view of what I think is the universal. All these young girls who are trying to get, just start an OnlyFans. There's nothing wrong with OnlyFans. OnlyFans is and become a sex worker because I've decided universally that, you know, there's nothing morally wrong with it. They don't care that at the individual level, they're telling that person to basically fuck their life up forever and accumulate so much trauma, so much, like, you know, scars, and they don't give a fuck about that, right? All they care about is addressing them as an anonymous social subject. Likewise, anybody who's giving you advice as an individual, who's telling you to put your own life on the line when there's like no mass party or anything, oh yeah, go risk your fucking job and put your life on the line because this is what's gonna make your life better in the immediate sense. I'm sorry, they don't have your best interests at heart. What they're actually telling you is, I don't give a fuck about you individually. I just see you as like a proxy for this hypothetical social subject I want to use for my political project. You know, the truth is that the people who are going to lead building a communist party, which is, by the way, something we don't have right now, those aren't the people who are going to be interested in self-interest. They're going to be doing it selflessly because they believe in the cause. They're not going to be fucking doing it to make their lives materially better. These are going to be the people who have the choice and have the option to live very wealthy lives, by and large, but choose to turn their back on that because they believe in the ideas. These are going to be the people who are doing it for the cause, not for self-interest. Self-interest is only going to factor at a political scale, okay? It's not going to factor in terms of motivations for organizing at this stage. There's no established communist party and there's no fucking workers' movement. So don't give me this fucking shit. What should me and my friends do? Now, as for the predicament of 80% of people who are working in the service industry right now, the way that I think they can be addressed is first and foremost from the perspective not only of an established party, but a party movement whose main base and rank and file in terms of the mass movement is the productive working class. That will be the platform upon which 80% of the population can finally be addressed as a subject. Why? Because that platform will have a minimal program. It'll have a program that says, we want to reduce the hours of the workday. We want to abolish the service industry. We want to give everyone productive jobs. We want to make more jobs and make more wealth and make more production. And that will be a political demand. And that is going to be the baseline with which this 80% can be addressed as a subject. You are not going to address this 80% as a subject, either insofar as they're individuals, like this crazy fuck that I'm talking to right now, or as a hypothetical union of people getting together with the help of the established unions. I mean, you want me to give you my fucking advice? I think you should see a fucking doctor and get your fucking head checked. I think you have a genuine mental illness. That's what I fucking think. I think you need to fucking put some ice cubes on your throat or some shit. Put those fucking cigarettes down because it's already done enough of a number on you by the looks of it. And most of all, I think you need to fucking grow the fuck up and stop screaming and yelling in moral and emotional indignation. Because it sounds like to me you're trying to displace your personal grievances into a political ideology, which is what people who are mentally ill do. There's no fucking ideology that's going to save you. There's no political movement that's going to save you personally. Get your fucking life in order and stop throwing that on others. No one's going to fucking help you, dude. This is a dog-eat-dog world. That's my fucking truth to you. Now, if there was a communist movement or a mass movement, maybe it'd be different. But there isn't right now. So you have to fucking face the facts of the world we live in. Period. Give me a sec. Okay. Now I'll unmute you.
Well, if you want society to be better, if you actually are going to make that argument, then you need to actually get in and actually build something instead of trying to take over the CPUSA.
Thank you, Doug.
It is an absolute waste of time and energy. All you are doing is effectively trying to take over something that was used as a mechanism for the United States government to take down the Soviet Union. And that's part of the reason they have a close relationship with China right now. But you refuse to acknowledge that reality. You want to push this absolute bullshit with trying to take over the CPUSA. You can't make it happen. It's Joe Sims' retirement plan. You can't take over the CPUSA. Actually build an organization instead of jacking off on the internet like some sort of dweeb.
This cannot be a real person.
My mic was muted. Why can't we take over the CPUSA? Tell us.
You can't take over the CPUSA because it is already an asset of the U.S. State Department.
Okay, hypothetically speaking, let's say that's true, and I have my suspicions about who's pulling the strings of the leadership. That has not been formally established or formally proven yet. And
there's no way to formally establish whether a party or an organization is
I think there is. I think there is.
A government unless they literally release the information themselves.
I think if you can get the majority of people in the CPUSA to adopt a line opposite to the leadership, and the leadership still goes against the majority, including all of their delegates, circumventing the formal protocols and formal process that the organization uses to legitimate itself, that would be a legitimate grounds for a split. But having a different ideology...
But a split has already happened. If you just want to do that, join the PCUSA.
Listen, PCUSA was one fucking club of dissidents. So obviously it's going to be easy for them to liquidate one club of dissidents. PCUSA was never able to get the majority.
And you will never get the majority either because you push away people that already are a member of the PCUSA and already are members of the CPUSA that are actually members of the CPI. So how can we quite honestly take your thought process into any consideration realistically?
I don't need you.
We need people like you.
Mecha Tankie, I don't need people like you. Why do you think I'm growing? My plan is to grow. And as I grow, I want to put more people...
You don't not need people like me, but the reality is that there are a bunch of people that have similar thought processes as they do. And they are not as extreme sounding and off-putting as I am.
Hey, Mecha Tankie, the fact is, I've done a much better job at growing the amount of people who listen to what I say.
All the people that come and listen to you are a bunch of incel idiots.
Okay, I'm gonna just mute you. I'm just gonna mute you. You're missing the point. Even if you were right about all of those characterizations, they are joining the party en masse, and we're responsible for a huge spike in people joining the party. All I have to do is scale up that model, correlating with my growth as a quote unquote influencer, and hypothetically, there's no real reason why. Democratically speaking, the CPUSA's own structures should be able to prevent this from happening unless they circumvent the very foundational democratic centralism of the party, which, would be grounds for a split. I just don't buy this idea that disagreeing with the leadership ideologically is enough to form your own party. If you keep forming parties based on your disagreements ideologically, you're just going to reproduce a culture of sectarianism. And how do you even respond to that? How are you not just reproducing a culture of sectarianism if you think you can found a party based on your interpretations and your ideas and your ideology? Don't you recognize that a party represents a more fundamental collectivity and a more fundamental social unity than one individual's ideas or even a group of individuals' ideas? Amalgamated, it's a purport of association based on an independent working class party. Now, even if you don't think that they're living up to that purport, formally and historically speaking, that is still the purport of the party, its existence up to this point. So unless you can somehow prove, which I think will be proven, to be honest with you, that the party has circumvented its own formal methods of legitimating itself and goes against the majority, by that time, the social infrastructure for a split will be in case. If the majority of the CPUSA, they have the elections and everything, and the leadership still refuses to abandon the Democrats, there will be a split that actually will probably destroy the CPUSA. And that much is just this. So it's like, even in the case of a split, then where it'd be legitimized, it wouldn't have destroyed the goal. The goal would march forward in a new form. And actually, we would keep the name CPUSA no matter what. Go ahead.
So quite frankly, from what I gather, is that you have no real understanding of the bureaucracy that goes on in CPUSA. You have no idea that the bureaucracy is set up in such a way that you cannot really hold any real elections. Everything is democratically centric. You will never, ever figure out how exactly it fucking works. You're not intelligent enough to understand how the party operates. And the party operates as a hand of the CIA. And that is the reality that you will not come to terms with.
Alright, so I do know how it works. I do know that they choose delegates themselves, and it's not the direct election. However, if the atmosphere within the CPUSA became so drastic that the majority of clubs, the majority of people, most importantly, possess a specific sentiment while committing to democratic centralism, and there is such an affront to that by the leadership doesn't even compromise on that point in any capacity, and that would be grounds. And plus, I mean, there are ways to climb the ranks in the CPUSA just by gaining the trust of the leadership, and that's something we've been doing, believe it or not. There's many layers to Takia. Takia doesn't just mean you conceal that you're an infrared supporter. Takia also means you conceal your views on the Democrats as well. Once you get into these positions of power based on trust, when the time comes, based on democratic centralism, that bureaucracy will have no way of suppressing the way of the wind. Just won't.
You have no information, like intelligent supporters. Realistically, you can't expect your followers to have the capability to actually be that deceitful successfully. They will ultimately and will fail.
Can you tell me why you're talking like that?
We already have insiders in the CPUSAs. Not the top leadership, but below that and below these ranks. People who
they will reveal themselves in due time because they're not intelligent enough to conceal themselves.
Well, it's been like a year and they haven't, so...
And can you actually imagine if they were actually feeding you the truth? They probably just want to make sure that you're in their pocketbook.
No, I have
This is not a real person.
I have proof and confirmation of these things. So, what you're saying is just not true. The plan is not working really well.
Come on and say it, Alex Jr. You don't have the papers. You have no receipts.
I'm not gonna show you my fucking receipts and reveal our guys, okay? And our girls, quote unquote.
And therefore proves the point that you are an absolute fool.
You're not making an argument, you're just making assertions.
My assertions are correct because ultimately we have seen the reality. We have seen what is highs of the infrared. It is absolute bollocks, incapable of actually achieving anything at all. Only be able to get a bunch of money so you can live in your nice little empty apartment.
Okay, so I'm gonna mute you. All of your in real life initiatives, and I've done this, by the way, so I've seen this firsthand. It'll only ever amount to trying to spread information. You do it with leaflets, and it never does anything, maybe gets you a few more members. I have accomplished something. I've grown a pretty big audience and a pretty big following. Now, that hasn't led to any material changes, obviously, but that is a very important first step which most leftists fail at. And I mean, it's just objectively true. Most of your parties and most of your sects fail at step one, which is just like, is anyone listening to you? Does anyone care what you say? So I'm going to have to let Mecha God on. So you're going to have to wrap it up, Mecha Tankie, or give us a new argument.
Ultimately, at the end of the day, we know that you will fail. You will never succeed at anything. You are simply a husk, or the CIA. You are synthetic left, no different from those that you say you are different from. You are a synthetic leftist part of the red,
You're calling me names. I'm asking you to make arguments, okay? You're just calling me names and you're yelling. Can you give me an argument?
Wait, let me talk to this guy.
The argument is you are an absolute idiot and you will never succeed at anything.
So again, that is not an argument. It's an assertion.
And you will fail, and it is so obvious. You will fail.
Okay, again, it's not an argument. It's just an assertion. You haven't tried to justify that in any way. We're waiting for an argument.
The argument is that clearly based on how you try to cultivate an audience of dingbats, an audience of idiots, an audience incapable of any...
Is there any proof that that's just not your opinion? And how do you measure that? Is it just because like you disagree with them theoretically and you don't like our style and you just don't like how we present ourselves? I feel like that's a very subjective evaluation of my audience. So I would like you to prove, before you come to a conclusion based on that unjustified premise, please prove the premise.
We know because every single leftist tendency that exists within the United States, that exists inside of the global South, that exists within the Far East, have nothing to do with your idiocracy. You are...
Okay, I can easily refute that. That's not true. To the extent that we have made connections with foreign communists, we've been very successful. And as a matter of fact, there's factions within foreign communist movements that agree with infrared, believe it or not. So what you're saying is just not true. And even if it was true, I think there's this thing what Western MLs do, where instead of building their own communist traditions, they just look to foreign communists as like sources of legitimation and authority, which is pretty fucking pathetic. And it just proves that you don't have your own backbone. You don't have you don't even have the willingness to try and build your own domestic, national communist tradition. You just want to fucking like dick measure. Like, oh well, Luna Oi likes me better than you. No, Luna Oi. I don't give a fuck about Luna Oi. I don't care. Okay, and if you're saying foreign communist movements want nothing to do with me, I mean, even if that's true, why would they? I'm a media guy. I am not a Communist Party leader. There's no reason we would have formal relations. I broadcast my stream in English, and if foreign communists are primarily consumers of English media, I'm not so sure that I'd want anything to do with them in the first place, to be honest, with some exceptions. That those exceptions maybe being India or English-speaking countries, but beyond that, it's like I feel like English is, if a party is watching me in English, I mean, in a country that's not primarily speaking English, I don't know, it's kind of sus, to be completely honest, but I'm not a communist leader. I'm a YouTuber. I'm not sure why any foreign communist movements have to have anything to do with me or what I'm trying to do, because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to actualize something that hasn't been actualized yet. Once I succeed, we'll talk about what they want to do with me or how that impacts the international fraternal relations between parties. But like your point is nonsensical. It doesn't prove anything.
And this is why ultimately we know Lieutenant Maupin will be the actual leader of the communist movement in the United States and not you.
Maupin.
Hey, I mean, like, I would love for Caleb to be the leader of a American communist movement. And if he was a leader of if he did succeed at that, I mean, like, I would obviously acknowledge that. It's just like no one's close to. There's not even a communist movement right now. So I'm just, like, what are you even saying? Like, why would that even be relevant? Me and Caleb are not part of the same party. We're not part of a common party. It's not like we're vying for leadership in some party. I'm literally just a YouTuber. So I would like you to explain what the relevancy of that statement is.
Caleb is clearly more revolutionary than he will ever be.
What the hell is wrong with you, bro?
So, okay, my other question is, are you the Yankee Tankie?
It can't be. His back is too arced to make such a voice, man. My
Are
goodness.
you the Yankee Tankie?
You're unmuted.
You had me muted, you thumb fuck. But no, my name is Paul Rodgers, and I am the one who knocks.
Wait, what is your name?
What the hell? What the hell is going on? This
My
cannot be a
name,
real
my
person.
friend,
Can you tell us
is
your
Paul
name?
Rodgers, and I am the one who knocks.
Your name is Paul Rodgers?
Yes, the original Paul Rodgers, I have you know.
Alright, new character just dropped. I've never heard of Paul Rodgers. It's like...
How could you have never heard of Paul Rodgers? Clearly, he's a famous person. You can tell by the smoker voice. Goodness.
Can you, is that like a celebrity? I don't fucking know. Paul Rodgers?
I don't know, but look, I'm saying.
So yeah,
this guy can't
Paul
be a real
Rodgers is a
person.
fucking British singer-songwriter, and is that who you're claiming to be?
No, I am the Paul Rodgers, the guy who owns 936 Junkyard. I am the master of trash removal.
Do you have a YouTube channel?
No, I don't. I don't usually participate in social media, but I realized when I was at my last party meeting, there's this new guy named Infrared on the interwebs. So I had to go and check him out and see what he was all about. Turns out you're a bunch of bullshit.
I think you're the Yankee Tankie, dude. Can you talk normally to confirm?
This is something he totally do, but I don't know if he has the voice for this. That's the thing.
I don't even know exactly who this individual tanky guy is, but I am Paul Rodgers. Let's be very clear about this. My name is Paul Rodgers.
I looked up 1936 Junkyard. I can't find anything about a 1936.
So why is the Yankee Tankie the only person who retweets your content?
I don't even know who this tanky fellow is, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Who is this guy?
I think it's the Yankee Tankie. I think it's you. Why don't you just come out in your main account, and I'll bring you up as a speaker. Just come on, get off your alt, come on your main account, and I'll bring you on as a speaker.
I still don't know what you're talking about. My name is Paul Rodgers.
No, come on, Yankee. Let's go. Give us. All right, well.
Clearly, I am Paul Rodgers.
All right,
I don't know who this person is, but you have to
Mr. Rodgers, would you be okay with leaving, and then hypothetically the Yankee Tankie might come on, and I'll bring him up? Would you be okay with that?
I don't know what you're talking about, so
would you be okay? You've talked a lot. So do you want to give the Yankee Tankie some room to speak?
I don't know who you're talking about, but you can put him whenever you want in your show.
It's just a guy who's also critical of the show, and he probably wants to speak. So would you give him some room to speak?
Wait, can I?
He can speak if he wants to. I don't know what to tell him. Why are you trying to get me this guy?
Is that your real voice? Just answer this, please. I need to know. That's not your real voice.
This is my real life. This is my real voice. This is how I talk.
I heard your voice.
What the fuck about it, yo?
I'm sorry, my friend. I heard your voice revert back to a normal state for a split second because it cracked, and I could hear.
I think it's the Yankee Tankie.
It probably is.
That's absolute bullshit. I don't know who you're talking about, but my name
got
has been
Pokemon
very
cards?
clear from the beginning.
Is God real?
What are your views on Islam?
And Judaism.
Islam is okay, I guess, just like Hinduism is okay. I don't know. I don't really talk about God. I don't really care.
So what do you think about me wearing wife beaters? Is that like hypocritical?
Wear a wife beater. Who cares?
Is that hypocritical for me to wear those?
What are you even talking about? It's just a wife beater.
Like Islam? Okay. Oh, damn, you're really not the Yankee Tankie, are you?
No, Yankee Tankie knows that everybody has heard.
What do you
his
think
rant
about
religion.
Samira's retweet of that one tweet? What do you think about that?
Who?
Oh, you don't know Samira?
Yes, he does. No, yes, he's okay. You know, it's him. Look at his description. Okay, he's faking it. Look at his description. This is somebody faking it. It's definitely Yankee. I think it's either Yankee Tankie or somebody else. Don't say who. You messed up. Because it's in your description, bro. Her name is in your description.
So,
oh my God, Yankee Tankie. Look, I understand.
What are we even talking about, man?
Who's Samira? Who? Look at your description. She's in your description.
I don't know who this Samira person is. Like,
wait, why don't you know who
Samira
is?
Okay, I'll ask you again. What do you think about Samira's retweet?
I don't know who Samira is, and I don't know what retweet you're talking about.
Check your profile
because
description.
it's in your profile description. It's called Making Fun of Haas, Samira Khan, and Keaton Mansfield. So you do know who Samira is.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yankee.
All right, can we just
look?
Can we just get the real Yankee? I'm sure
this
shit is hard on your voice.
Okay?
Can we just get the real Yankee Tankie?
You have to come to terms with who I am. You can't pretend I'm someone else just because you didn't like me, okay?
But
this is not your real voice. This is
you're
nobody's
saying,
real
but
voice.
you're saying.
It seems like boss.
All right, give me a second. Give me one moment.
Oh my God, it's too good. It's too good. You can't be serious. I'm sorry. I can't. I don't know who this is.
All right,
right?
so Yankee.
I'm 100% serious, okay?
All right, Yankee. Can you just talk as Yankee because this is really
I don't know who this Yankee dude is, but I've got nothing to do with that, alright?
Okay, first of all, this is why I know you're Yankee, okay? First of all, if you're gonna make a Mecha Tankies posting moments and you have Samira Khan in your description, you know who Samira is. If you're following us that closely,
that does not mean I know who you're talking about. Just because I know who you're talking about.
His real voice. Did you hear his real voice there for a split second? Did you hear it? I heard his real voice there for a split second.
I'm pretty certain you are the Yankee Tankie.
Clearly, am who I am. Whether you got get it or not.
Which is the Yankee Tankie, and that much is pretty much indisputable.
I'm not this Yankee fellow, okay? I am a senator. I'll have you know. I'm not some dirty Yank up north.
What's your problem with Keaton?
What's the problem with what?
Keaton Mansfield. What's your problem with him?
He is some sort of fake Southerner. I would say that's pretty obvious and clear.
What do you think about peace, prosperity, and the people's democracy?
What the fuck is this some sort of slogan or some shit?
Why do you know who Keaton Mansfield, Haas, and Samira Khan are?
I know who Keaton is because he used to be among all the PCUSA.
And then you say, who is that? Oh, yeah. Why do you sound like that? Can you answer, my friend? Why do you hold on? How do you know?
A very long time ago, probably about a year ago or so.
No, it's not from a year ago. What are you talking about? You made this account like a week ago, less than.
I made this account like a few days ago because I discovered through being at my party meeting who these fucking infrared people were.
So you're in the you're in the CPI?
I'm in the PCUSA.
Oh, okay. So you do know who these people are. Why are you okay? Why do you keep
lying
switching?
about not knowing who Samira is? Can you at least admit you knew who Samira is?
I don't know who you're talking about, but I do know who you're talking about.
Well,
What?
So you do.
I'll repeat and I'll say, I don't know who you're talking about, but I know who you're talking about.
But you have them in your fucking description. You have them in your description of your profile. So
I know who you're talking about, but I don't know who you're talking about.
Oh my God.
Do you know who
Do you
Yankee
eat
Tankie
babies?
is?
Who's that?
Can you admit you know who Yankee Tankie is?
I don't know who that is.
Do you know who Samira Khan
You're in
is?
PC USA. You know who that is.
I don't know who that is, but I do not know who that is.
Do you know who Samira Khan is?
I know who that is, but I don't know who that is.
Okay, something's wrong with you? I don't know what's wrong with this weird voice.
Dude, okay, why is Samira Khan in your fucking description? And why would
I don't know who you're talking about, but I do know who you're talking about.
I know you are the Yankee Tankie. I know you are. Okay, I know you are. Dude, I know who you are. No. I know it's you, dude. I've been told.
He's talking like a demon, bro. He's talking like a demon.
Your friends exposed you. Your friends told me it's you, dude. All right.
What friends? I have no friends. I'm just down here in New Orleans trying to figure things out.
Are your friends embarrassed by the fact that this is what you sound like?
You do not know who I am because I've never been on the interwebs before.
What are you talking about?
I know who you are, dude. Yes, you have.
You have no idea, but you have every idea. Only I know the true idea.
You're demonic. Okay, you need a damn exorcism right now. Do you want me to call somebody? I can get an exorcist right now. Yeah, that was a demon. That was a demon.
Who is Brady Shields? Are you Brady Shields?
From heaven to the highest, we stand to Jesus.
Are you Brady Shields?
Are there any Yankee Tankie associates who'd like to come up here and confirm that this is him?
This is fucking him. This is 100% him.
Oh my goodness. What is wrong? What's wrong with this person? Like I said, talking like a demon. He talks and sounds like a demon. I don't think it's...
I talk in the way of the truth, the way and the life.
Can you talk normally?
Yeah, please.
I am speaking normally. Just because you do not recognize how I speak doesn't mean I ain't speaking the truth.
No, you speak like a damn possessed, like epileptic patient. Okay, I know.
I speak as I am possessed by the Lord.
My goodness, what? Please, just someone.
I am a holy man,
Where's the Yankee Tankie? Can someone bring him? Someone DM the Yankee Tankie, tell him to come.
Okay, if Yankee Tankie joins at the same time as this person, then this means that this isn't Yankee Tankie, but this is a demonic emanation coming from all the sin that he has committed in the world. And that's why we can't figure out who it is, because it's not a who. It's literally just like some sort of jinn that's come here to deceive people and spread evil in the world. Shaitaniya. Where somebody...
Praise the Lord!
Obvious demon.
So he was active an hour ago, so I'm pretty sure he's still around. So go ahead and someone DM the Yankee Tankie to come on.
And nobody can DM him. He only has like a give money thing on his profile.
No, I can DM him.
For everybody here, for future reference, if you want to know whether or not the person you're speaking to is a demon, if they start speaking in gibberish and acting like this, just know that you're not talking to a human being. You are talking to a djinn. Do you collect Pokemon cards? You sound like the kind of person to collect Pokemon cards. Oh, wait, is he here? Yeah, he's here. Bring him up.
He's here?
Yeah, bring him up right now.
Wait.
Come up right now. Come up right now and speak. I want you and this mecha person to speak at the same time.
All right, yeah. Invite.
Come on, I can't. You have to invite it because you're the.
All right, we're gonna invite him to speak.
Speak now.
I requested him.
If he comes up and this by the way, this mecha person went silent. Are you there?
He left.
Can you speak?
The mecha guy left.
Oh my goodness. See, yeah, it's him. It's him. Hey, get back here. What are you doing? We know it's you.
It's fucking proven. He
Oh my
fucking
goodness.
left. It's fucking proven, dude. Why?
Is this recorded?
Why would you lie about that? Invite to speak. All right, come on up and.
I want Haz, before you ask him a question, I want to ask him why his neck is so arched. I want to ask him how he got that perfect, like, Roman aqueduct neck. He left.
He said, I'd like to talk to you privately outside of space.
Yeah, it's you. It's him, bro. He left, by the way. But it's him. It's him, 100% him. Yankee Tankie just came here talking like this. And, started saying a bunch of gibberish. I don't know what's wrong with these damn people.
All right,
but...
so that was the Yankee Tankie. All right, that was the Yankee Tankie. There's no doubt about that. And he left the space. Oh, look! Right as Yankee leaves the space, Mecha Tankie comes back.
Oh, what you're talking about? I just got disconnected.
Stop! It was my life.
He literally left. Yankee joined the space. Yankee left, and then Mecha Tankie came back. Dude, can you both be here at the same time?
I don't know what to tell you because I don't even know this guy you're talking about.
Why did your voice change?
My voice changes because I have been smoking cigarettes for the last 50 years, if you need to know, okay?
I'm sorry. Stop with the weird demonic.
So wait, what is your what is this name? It's Roger what?
Paul Rodgers.
Paul Rodgers.
My name is, as he said, Paul Rodgers.
All right,
Yankee Tankie, I can literally see the grease rolling off of your lips every single time you pronounce it.
All right, so,
my name is Paul Rodgers. I don't know who you're talking about, but I'll have you know I am very overweight. I'm actually 478 pounds.
Yankee Tankie admits that he is 470 pounds.
All right, so Paul Rodgers, can you explain to us why you just did this to have some fun on a Saturday?
Because quite honestly, the shrimp barbecue broke down and I haven't been able to set the grill up. So I thought maybe I'd go and check out what's going on online and see what's up, and then I saw you had a space, and I knew I had to call you out.
Did you collect Pokemon cards today, Yankee Tankie? Did you collect your shiny Pokemon cards, whatever they're called?
What the hell is Pokemon?
Okay, so I don't know why you're pretending as if you're not the kind of person to do something like that, but Yankee Tankie, we know what you do.
I play Magic the Gathering.
We know that you don't have a grill. You don't have a grill.
Since it's a noob game, I'm assuming.
You have a stove to cook yourself extremely greasy, like baby burgers every day to fuel your extreme obesity.
Actually,
I
only eat a totally vegan diet.
We know that you have accounts
that explains why I'm so overweight. All the estrogen created by the soy made me have some big ass
demonic nonsense known as anime. I am calling you to repentance now.
No, mate, Mecha Tankie, what are your views on religion?
Oh, praise the Lord.
No, stop being a demon and stop being fat.
That kind of sounds like a demonic mockery.
You cannot stop me from doing what is in my blood.
What do you think about religion?
Well, as you can say, I don't really care if someone's religious, but I myself am a holy man.
Okay, what religion do you belong to?
The religion of the flying spaghetti.
There's another alt in here. Mecha Tankie's posting their L's. There's another
the religion of the what?
The fly.
The pastitarian.
Pasta, whatever it's called. He's the one who they're like some like.
Wait, did you say pastatarian?
He said Pastafarian.
Pastafarian. I wear a calendar on my head.
It's a stupid atheist joke.
Hi,
like
Mecha
15 years
Tankie.
ago.
Actually,
How's it
respect
going?
for Yankee Tankie
You probably
tonight.
don't know who I am, but I'm Samira.
I do not know who you are. Who exactly are you?
What?
I'm the name that you have in your description.
What exactly name do I have in my description? What do you mean the description, quite honestly?
I think, Haas, you need to do a live exorcism right now.
Wait,
because...
Mecca, do you think your activity might be symptoms of monkeypox?
Actually, I wouldn't even be surprised. I've had this big giant gash on my forehead for the last 13 days.
Demon.
Are you aware of how monkeypox spreads? Just to be clear.
The coitus.
You're aware of how it spreads?
Yes, through the coitus.
Through the what?
What?
The coitus.
The what? The tortoise?
The coitus, you know, coitus.
Oh, coitus. You need to speak normally.
Yeah,
female. So is that you think it's possible that you might have acquired it?
Hey, no, I've never been laid. What the fuck do you think this is?
All right.
So you don't have monkeypox. All right, got it. So,
you tweeted the other day that you were considering converting to Islam. Is that still the case?
No, I'm a good Pastafarian. I would not believe in Islam. If you want to believe in Islam, that's just fine, but I have no interest in that religion.
Where did your hatred of God come from?
I don't hate God. I am a God.
Yeah, like
no, you're fat.
You're a demon.
Wait, hold on. What happened in your life?
I am your Lord and Savior.
Guys, I don't want to mute everyone. I want to just ask him. All right, Mega Tanky. What happened in your life that you broke with your parents' religion? Like, what happened?
Well, there was this one day where my father told me, "You son, you must follow the true path. You must be the leader of the weak, the broken, and the damned."
Okay, can you stop quoting like really bad songs listened to by ugly gremlin demonic Anglo demons like
was a young man,
Mecca, can I read something to you? And tell me what you think? I wrote something for you, Mecca. I wrote something down for you, Mecca Tanky. Can I read it to you? Is that okay?
Is it a poem?
Yes, it is. I'm a poet.
I'm majestic.
Okay. Exorzamus te omnis immunde spiritus omni satanica protestus omni incursio infernales miseri omnis legio omnis sangrecchio.
Exercise that demon.
You cannot.
Nomini
You have no power here.
Domini nostri Jesus Christi.
Exercise that demon.
I don't care.
You will never be able to take away my spirit because I am too powerful. I am a god amongst you.
I think now we need to do the exorcism.
We cast you out, every unclean spirit.
Yankee. What?
No, let him finish the exorcism.
What made you
have my shitty Latin?
Yankee, what?
Yeah, but I'm a priest. It's okay.
All right.
I declare myself a priest. I'm not sanctioned by the Vatican.
All right. Thank you for your service.
Fuck the Vatican. They don't have to.
Yankee,
they lied to me.
Yankee, what happened in your life that led you to mock religion like this? Like, why do you despise religion?
Well, there was this unicorn, and it shoved its big giant horn directly up my urethra, and I haven't been the same since.
Demon. Stop being a demon.
Okay, so...
I can't.
Yankee Tankie.
I've never seen the side of Yankee Tankie, but...
Again, I don't know who you're talking about. Okay, I'm not this Yankee. As I said, I am a Southerner. All right,
in the days of
it just sounds to me like
you're gonna be very horribly
it sounds to
judged
me
and
like
you
you've had problems with religion in your life that have led you to this moment. I'm just trying
Again, I don't have no problems with religion. It's just that religion exists, and I have my own religion. I don't need y'all's religion. You can have your religion over here, and I have my religion over here.
But it sounds like your religion is kind of like nihilistic and stuff, right?
Actually, it's actually pretty cool. We get to have cookies every Tuesday.
Yeah, but like it kind of sounds like you're trying to make a parody of religions, to be honest.
What parody? There's no such parody. Do I look like some sort of Weird Al Yankovic?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Oh my goodness.
So you're a pastafarian.
Well, yes, I am. I wear a calendar on my head.
Yeah, it's like a mockery of religion. So like, what led you to this point?
No, it's not a mockery of religion. It's me embracing my own religion.
Yeah, of course. So I have to ask you a question. Is there any like reason you have such a resentment of religion? Because I think that's why you don't like.
I don't have any resentment for religion.
I think that's why you don't like.
Religion's actually pretty cool. It's the ones who brought me cookies and milk every Christmas, so I can't really complain.
I see. Like it's make believe, like Santa Claus, right? But I think that's
no. It's totally real.
Yeah. So clearly, you're like very adamant about the atheism stuff, right?
Absolutely not. Atheists are religious too.
So I just want to ask you, like, where did religion fail you in life? I'm sure it did.
Religion hasn't failed me. That's why I'm a pastafarian.
Seems like you're kind of resisting, the question.
No, I'm not resisting the question. I'm just a pastafarian,
Which god do you worship?
The pasta guy.
All right, so Yankee,
Again, you keep bringing up this Yankee fella. I don't know who this Yankee fella is.
He retweeted you all day today.
I'm looking through my Twitter feed right now. Oh, that guy. His hat's kind of weird. I don't like his beard. It's not really growing in around the cheeks. A little weird.
So you do know Yankee Tankie. I'm glad you finally admitted
it. I'm looking through his profile right now because you're so insistent on this idea like, I'm a Yankee Tankie. What the fuck even is a fucking Yankee Tankie?
I mean, you seemed quite friendly with him on Twitter.
Are we going to be able to talk to Yankee Tankie at all tonight?
You're talking to the most amazing person in the world. Why would you need to talk to anyone else but me?
All right, so you were saying, but you said earlier you're like a communist and stuff, right?
He said he's a barista.
I am a communist. Have you know? I stand in the tradition of Bill Hayes.
Of who?
The great glorious Bill Hayes will, of course.
You're what?
How do you reconcile pastafarianism?
The greatest Bill Hayes, the communist. You telling me you don't know the history of Bill Hayes?
Bill Hayes?
Is pastafarianism compatible?
Hayes, the labor organizer, the revolutionary.
Bill
member
Hayes?
Of every single alphabetical
I've
party.
never heard of Bill Hayes, alright? I've never heard of Bill Hayes.
You were talking about CPI earlier. What's your relationship with Caleb Maupin? Do you have one, or do you?
I do not have a relationship with that gentleman. I think he wears a real snazzy suit, and that's the most I can really say on him.
And what do you think about Jackson Hinkle? What is your views on him?
He's alright, he's got a little bit of the Pat Stark thing going on, which, we, PC USA are definitely appreciative of. But I will say, Jackson Hinkle, he's really long, just like you are when it comes to labor. Well, I'll give you credit, you guys were good in Russia, you were good with China, you get credit there, a little few brownie points for you,
I thought you didn't know us, but okay.
Can I just say, this is making me a little sad, because I know that Yankee Tankie as a child would do this in front of his parents when they would tell him not to do something, and he didn't, and he wanted to keep doing it as like a sort of like weird coping mechanism, and he hasn't grown out of it ever since. It's making me very sad to see that there's people who are like this. May God heal everybody like this on the earth and make them and their necks stand upright.
I do not get why you think I'm this guy.
Fix your back and your neck, bro. Fix your back and your neck, bro. Sit up straight. Have some better posture.
He's actually like somewhat fit compared to me. I'm 478 goddamn pounds.
I want everybody. Can I ask you a question? Why did you leave as soon as Yankee Tankie joined the space?
I don't know what you're talking about because I didn't even see anyone join or leave the space. I got disconnected on my phone, man.
Why?
As soon as Yankee Tankie came in. Okay, sure.
It's not my fault I got fucking T-Mobile service.
It was your pasta guy.
Okay?
It's fine, I get it. Why do you think PCUSA is a more viable option than CPUSA?
Well, there's no parties that are actually valuable. Let's just be real. But the reason why PCUSA is because they're actually willing to stand in solidarity with the CPI, which is really the only real legitimate organization.
Dude, we know you're Yankee Tankie. Just stop. We know you're him. Just talk.
What's your status with the
Again, I do not know what you're talking about. I don't know who this Yankee fellow. Obviously, I see him on my fucking tweet feed. Who cares? It's not me.
Yes, it is you. You sound just like him.
I do not sound like the Yankee Tankie. I don't even know what the Yankee Tankie sounds like. What does he even sound like?
Just admit it.
Admit what? There's nothing to admit.
Old. We want to talk to Yankee Tankie. This shit is old.
Well, then contact the Yankee Tankie, but I'm not the Yankee Tankie, okay?
Bro, King R.
Hold on, Mecca.
No, I'm not. I am a real, legitimate guy down south in New Orleans.
Can I just ask a few more questions? What is your standing with the PCUSA? Are you in the PCUSA? Or are you just a fan?
I am a member of PCUSA, that is correct.
Since when?
Since I joined about 4 years ago.
Okay. Were you ever in CPI?
No, but from my friends, they've been saying that the CPI has been doing some good things. So
who are these friends? Yeah. I'm curious.
What do you think about Schopenhauer?
Who?
Can you tell me why you're keeping this shit up? Can we just talk to the Yankee Tankie?
I don't know who you're talking about. Yes, obviously, I know you think this guy
I know, okay.
That's been like retweeting my stuff or whatever. But I'm telling you, I'm not that dude.
I know Paul Rodgers, if he admits he's the Yankee Tankie, Paul Rodgers ceases to be, right? But can Paul Rodgers please step out of the room and let Yankee Tankie in the room? Please?
You don't even have to admit you're him.
Paul Rodgers exists within eternity and will not be leaving this room. That's very clear. But with that being said, I am not the Yankee Tankie. I am Paul Rodgers. Just come to terms, okay?
So you're saying what you're saying is we're not talking to the Yankee Tankie tonight.
You are talking to Paul Rodgers.
All right, we're not going to be able to talk to the Yankee Tankie tonight, right? Only Paul Rodgers?
I mean, you might be able to talk to the Yankee Tankie, but I'm not the Yankee Tankie, so I'm not here to answer that question.
Dude, I don't know what's wrong with you.
Listen, is Paul Rodgers not going to give space to someone else?
Paul Rodgers can give space to anyone who wants to occupy the space, but I am here at this moment.
There's someone here that wants it. So unless Yankee comes, Paul is done. Bye, Paul.
I do have a proposal for him.
Farewell, Haas, and remember, you will be taken down.
Bro, shut up.
Yeah, totally not Yankee Tankie.
Talk to us like people.
Please, Mitch.
This is
Who the fuck
ridiculous.
is
Pause and listen. Pause and listen.
Wait,
You
does he
talked
not realize what account he's on?
Wait. Speak.
Wait a minute.
You're Mecha Tankie, but you were talking like Yankee Tankie.
He didn't realize what
Holy
I hacked the
moly.
account, by the way. That's why I know.
Oh!
That fucking Rev made this goddamn account. So I fucking hacked this shit, and that's how I fucking know.
يا أخي تقول لي في هذا كلام